Hey dolls, welcome back to your Royal BFF, the People's Duchess. How's it going? Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are all doing well. You know who's not doing well today? The illegitimate Prince of Wales. Princess Meghan's Emmy nomination has really thrown the British Isles into such a tizzy. They have been screaming, crying, throwing up, sliding down the wall, knocking things off of tables, ripping curtains off of their valances. I haven't seen this much whipped up, and admittedly, I avoid it. I deliberately avoid it, but this time around, I couldn't. There has been wall to wall coverage from galaxy to galaxy about the Duchess of Sussex's Emmy nomination. This is a very big feat for her. It's the first show that she's written, produced, and starred in for Netflix. It's a very young show going up against these heavy hitters. So much praise, so much to talk about. And William, he is just in shambles. From all reports, the man is in shambles. The entire house is in disarray because Meghan is up for an Emmy. And in true colonizer fashion, he's taken the credit for something that he had no hand in other than to show up. He didn't produce the show. He didn't write any part of the script. He didn't direct any bit of it. He didn't discover Eugene Levy or this show. But in true colonizer fashion, he has taken all the credit. And by the way, that episode was only a well-watched episode because people really like Eugene Levy and this show, and also they thought that perhaps he might finally open up and talk about Harry and Meghan and the whole situation. That's all the headlines were. That's all anyone talked about or wanted to know. Will he say anything about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex? That's why people tuned in for this episode in particular. It's not for you. You are the most boring person on earth. Eugene Levy is so much more interesting by a long shot. A good 60% of the viewers were his regular viewers anyways. It had nothing to do with Bulliam. So he calls up his friends at Hello Magazine and People or wherever else and tells them, hey, look, the show that I was on is up for 2 Emmys, so just make me the headline. Tell people that I've earned 2 to Meghan's 1. Pathetic. William, why are you competing with a random woman? According to y'all, an irrelevant random woman from Nowheresville, Boondocks, Arkansas, for all you know. Why are you so competitive with her? Why is it that she can't just have whatever it is that she had? When her show came on, you guys were up in arms about it. You had to compare her show to anything that y'all got going on. And you still do till today. I remember you guys went and made like cookies or something, and your wife was touching all in her hair and rubbing her nose and then kneading the dough, and hopefully nobody ate that because ew. But yeah, all the headlines were, move over, Meghan. You're not the only one in the baking game. You're not the only one in the cooking game. Da, 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 da. And mind you, both of y'all had confessed just a few years prior to that she couldn't cook, and neither could you. So I don't understand the competitiveness. I mean, I do. Y'all are some hateful, jealous hoes, but it's so weird that you would display it so publicly like this. This is such an obsessed move for you to be trying to usurp Eugene Levy's work, the writers, the producers of The Reluctant Traveler. You're trying to usurp them and act like everybody should be stupid enough to think that you had something to do with the production of the show, and therefore you're the one whose name will be on the Emmy when and if they win. It's so weird. It's so beyond weird. Even for a colonizer, this is weird and embarrassing. William is a rotten apple that hasn't fallen far from the tree. His father, Prince Harry, already told us, his father was already jealous of Meghan. A new shiny thing, he called her. Really jealous, already saw the writing on the wall. She would definitely be more popular than him and his wife. So from very early on, Charles was also competing with Meghan. Why else would he say that he doesn't have enough money to support Meghan, even though she was coming into the fold and doing the work? Why else would he cut her off financially before she even got started? Why else would he say or suggest that she should continue acting if he wasn't a jealous hoe? When she dropped her jam, Highgrove had a jam sale to make sure that you knew that they also had jam. When she dropped her wine, the king started advertising his own rosé. Everything Meghan does, you guys turn around and do. You copy and paste from Meghan's aesthetic down to your own brand and products, which should have their own aesthetic and their own feel, but they don't. And this is an established brand. Highgrove, well established. And not only have you guys picked up on having to compete with Meghan, but even the people that work for you are fiercely competitive with Meghan. Why is Natasha Archer also now fully cosplaying Meghan? Why is she on her Meghan mood board? Why does she have a Meghan style Pinterest board in the backdrop? Why is she wearing Meghan's clothes? None of this makes any sense. But then again, it does, because y'all are some colonizers. This is what y'all do. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this surprised me. It took me a little bit off guard, because how are you a style expert if all you do is reheat Meghan's nachos? How are you supposed to be an independent style consultant with this huge portfolio of having dressed the future Queen of England and other prominent figures for well over a decade, but a majority of those years, at least 7 of those years, you have spent biting off of Meghan? Oh, whatever, bro. You guys love to say that she's an irrelevant nobody. Why is she the standard that you have to follow and beat? You are telling on yourself. By comparing yourself against her at every turn, you're admitting that she is the standard. You're saying she's the standard, she did this thing, but look what I did. I did this. You can't have both. She's either an irrelevant nobody or the standard by which you have to be. And it's looking like the latter, my guy. I mean, come on, Bulliam, you had fuck all to do with this episode. You just showed up on that stupid moped or scooter or whatever the hell it's called. You just showed up and started drinking. And now you're an Emmy nominated prince. Man, I find it really wretched. Outside of his normal wretchedness, there is something additionally and extremely insidious about this particular move. It is just so bad that you don't care. You don't even care how Eugene Levy feels, how his team feels. You are taking full credit. You are the face of these 2 Emmy noms. Is that not wretched? Am I off here? Let me know if I'm off here, but William has a really horrible, horrible disposition. He's known for his terrible disposition. I mean, that's not a secret that he's a temper tantrum throwing, violent person. He treats his dad, the King of England, like crap. He treats his wife like a prized Westminster hog. But like, this is probably the saddest thing, because this is literally 6 years, going on 7 years on. We are halfway through the 7th month of the 6th year that they have officially been gone out of England, out of the royal fold, the better part of a decade we're talking about, right? And this man has never let it go. Him and that lion-ass wife of his have never let Meghan go. They always felt slighted by her mere existence. From the minute they met her and saw that, oh, she's not just some, aloof actress, Hollywood actress. She's actually a very formidable, very consequential person. And in fact, her and Harry would make a very consequential king and queen, which they never would have accepted, because we've all heard Harry say how much of a curse that would be for him, right? We've heard him speak about how terrible things were prior to him ever meeting Meghan, way back in his youth. He would never accept the throne as king unless he were the only option. And he has said that on multiple occasions. But you know that they'd make a good king and queen. They care about people. They are humanitarians to their cores. And they're intelligent on top of that. Something that you and that liminal space, back rooms, cardboard cutout wife can never say. You can't say that because you both are functionally illiterate people. And if you're wondering what functionally illiterate means, don't worry, I got you. Y'all know this is an educational and historical channel. We love a receipt. We love a context cue. This channel runs on facts, all right? So stop me when I'm lying. And I have to give a huge shout out to our fellow squatty, Ali Sishilongo. I heard him say this about Bill and Kathy, and not only did it pan fry me, but it's the truth. Those two are intellectually, socially, and academically, essentially functionally illiterate. They have a basic understanding of reading and writing, but they are not advanced enough to manage like daily living and employment tasks. This is why they have servants and people who do everything for them, including like put on their socks and brush their teeth and run their bath, because they're functionally illiterate. Now, this is different from traditional illiteracy. Traditional illiteracy, as you can see here, involves the complete inability to read and write words and letters. Functional illiteracy means that you can write and read at a very rudimentary level. There is a well-documented history of how stupid this man is. And the fact of the matter is, many a person has not only alluded to him being a dummy, but has come right out and said this man is a dummy. And he himself has shown how stupid he is. He does all these dumb antics, like the Earthshot thing, the burger vendor thing, all the fakery of it all. It's stupid. It's all very stupid. These are all very stupidly planned, poorly executed schemes that he cooks up in his head and thinks that nobody knows that he's on a closed set or that he's not doing any of the work or that his speeches are clearly Chat GPT speeches. Like, he doesn't know that we know that he sounds stupid. When he or his wife shows up somewhere with binders just because Meghan had binders, but their binders have nothing in them, like, how dumb is that? Why would you need a big ass binder for a 2-3 sentence speech? That's stupid, Kate. That's just dumb. Yeah, William's functionally illiterate, y'all. He does not read. He doesn't like to read. He can barely manage reading through a brief. He prefers pictures. Now, I'm no mathematician, but if you prefer pictures and can barely get through books or even a briefing, like even just a one-page briefing of something, in my opinion, you can't read. Can you, William? So William trying to insert himself into Eugene Levy's success is classic William. It is classic of him to try to latch on because he hasn't won anything and Princess Meghan has. Eugene Levy has been award nominated for this show, 2 nominations back in 2024. He's been nominated and won other Emmys for his work. So William sees that and he goes, let me attach myself so I, by proxy, also seem intelligent. Because remember when people were asking him when this came out, oh, why didn't he pick a British journalist or a British person to do this interview with? Because you Brits are mostly just suck-ups. You are mostly just terrified of this man. You want the benefits of being near someone who is royal and has a lot of status because that will then open doors for you. So he thought, no, these are morons. Let me go ahead and go with like this smart American guy. And Eugene Levy is a smart man. He's a very intelligent person. He's not just your classic, dumb actor guy, drunk all the time. William. He's not just your classic William. He is someone who is very, very astute, very intelligent, very intellectual. William saw that, and that is why he chose this show and Eugene Levy to give that particular sit down with. And look, as ridiculously inadequate and bass-ackwards as his team is and as he is, they had the foresight to know, hey, everything Meghan does has turned to gold. She's literally won an award for every single thing, from her book to her jams to her wines to her podcast to her show now. Like, they had an inclination that this would happen. So that's the other thing. They had this foresight of, well, the Reluctant Traveler had been nominated before. He will probably get nominated again. Let's go with this. So I'll give it to him. Old Egghead had a bit of foresight here and latched on to the right horse for once. Girl, this is just sad. I don't understand why you have to be a one-upper. Why do you feel like Her Royal Highness Princess Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is the only other person in the room? Why is it that you are so razor focused on her? And don't say you're not, because you are. You're either going to have to prove that she's irrelevant to you by leaving her name completely out of your mouth, or you have to come out and admit that she is a very formidable opponent in your one-sided war. It can't be both. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Always appreciated. Like, share, and subscribe. Join the squad. We have a lot of fun in members only. I'm gonna do a full, more thorough deep dive on William's obsessive nature, especially as it pertains to Duchess Megan. This will be a members only, so go on ahead and hit that join button, join the membership, and get notified when that drops. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. Please be kind to yourselves, and until next time, bye for now.